There's a frog in here.
All about the one world government. LA, 15-minute smart cities. Jamaica, Maui, 15-minute smart cities.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Here's all the snacks. There's no employees. There are robots in here. There are robots taking your order.
What's up, YouTube? Today, we'll be looking at disturbing TikToks that'll make you question reality. So without further ado, welcome to Adam Strain Reacts. Let's get her done.
Apparently, blood being blue in your body is just a Mandela effect. Watch this.
Almost 100% sure that they taught us that blood was blue inside the body until it hits oxygen and then it turns red. And I just saw a video of a 6th grade teacher talking about why do her 6th graders think that blood is blue. And my first thought was, how do you, as a teacher, not know that blood is blue until it hits oxygen? And then I looked it up, and apparently that was never true. So now I'm wondering, because I could have sworn they taught us this in schools. Like, I don't even know if this is a Mandela effect or if this is just like misinformation completely, or if they are like they just lied to it. Wait, who else thinks that blood is blue? Actually, let me ask.
What is Bill Gates?
What do you guys remember? Have you guys ever heard of the Mandela effects? There's a lot of things that people remember differently than the way they are. Like Star Wars, instead of saying, Luke, I am your father, he says, no, I am your father. But the funny thing about that story, for an example, is that when the actor of Darth Vader would go on to talk shows and stuff like that, and they would tell him, okay, do the voice, he would say, Luke, I am your father. In other words, even the person that's involved in the movie seems to have a misrecollection of the events, which pushes us to question, is that the way it was? Is that not the way it was? So now back to the question. When you guys were in school learning about biology and they told you that the veins were blue, why did they say they were blue? Did they say because there was a lining in the vein? Or did they say because when the oxygen depletes in the blood, it loses its red tint and it becomes blue? That's what I had learned. So let me know down below, see if we're all on the same page or not, and let's keep on rocking.
Planning with all that land he owned.
Why don't they talk about planting trees? Why isn't Bill Gates the largest, private landowner in the U.S. now, planting trees like crazy if he's so worried about carbon dioxide? You know, he poo-poos the whole idea of planting trees as a way to combat climate change. It's just carbon markets and going to electric vehicles and all of this stuff. But electric vehicles necessitates mass mining, and a lot of that mining is in places that use child labor, or it's going to be so environmentally destructive you totally destroy the developing world, which, these people on the left supposedly want to protect. You're going to totally destroy the environment. But really what it's about is controlling how much energy people can use. And if you can control how much energy a household can use, you can control their economic activity. You also control how big their family can. It's fear-driven to get people to accept policies they otherwise wouldn't accept because they're told this cataclysmic event is just down the line. Trust us, again, is the conclusion of that.
The Illuminati are literally pricing humans out of existence.
Wow, childhood was great. I'm excited for a bright future.
9/11.
What?
Yeah, it's 9/11. It's going to be the worst terrorist attack in human history, and the world's never going to be the same.
All right, well, I'm sure by the time I get to college, things will...
Financial crisis. There's going to be one of the worst financial crises ever.
All right, well, whatever. I'm sure by the time I'm 30...
Global pandemic. There's going to be a global pandemic that irreparably shifts how society operates. Forever.
This is becoming too much for me. All right, well, I was always shown that the key to happiness is just raising a family and owning a home. So I'm just going to focus on that because I'm finally making $100,000 a year.
$250,000.
Can't even do that anymore.
Yeah, you're going to need $250,000 a year for all of those things now.
Are you kidding me? Gee, I mean, I guess I'll just go back to medical school then.
$300,000, that's going to cost $300,000 and also 10 years of your life.
Oh, my... Whatever. I'll just pursue my passions and become an artist.
They're going to try to replace you with AI.
Good God. I can't deal with this anymore. I'm just going to revert back to my childhood and watch some of my favorite shows. Try to forget about this.
Child abuse.
What?
Yeah, child abuse. They were all abusing children.
I need to go back to church.
Also abusing children.
I can't do this anymore. Is the government at least trying to fix this?
Stay weird.
Abusing children?
Abusing children.
Have y'all ever...
It's kind of true when you think about it. It seems like, I don't know, what age you guys have, but it does seem like there has been a steady crisis every couple of years. Seems very interesting. Do you guys think that there's a meaning behind all of that? Or it's just random? But when you look at these events and you start looking at the causes and how and the incentives and, who had motive, becomes a pretty interesting story. But he is right that, you're trying to live a normal life, but with all these crises, with all these attacks, with all these situations, it's kind of hard to just go on your merry way. And like you said, even if you just want to, settle down, get a house or whatever, back in the days, people seems like they could buy a house if they were working at the convenience store. And nowadays, it's like they're talking about Trump spoke about 50-year mortgages. So that means that everything is just out of reach from the consumer. So it's so sad the way back in the days you could have the most basic job and somehow still provide for your family. And nowadays, it seems like that has completely changed. You guys agree? Do you guys see it the same way? Or do you guys think that nowadays there's way more opportunities than before and we have a problem with our mind state? Let me know down below. And let's keep on rocking.
Ever seen anything like this? VinHub. So check it out. You scan the QR code, right? There's all the snacks. There's no employees. There are robots in here. There are robots taking your order. Oh my goodness. And they got everything. They got medicine. Oh my goodness. I have to order something. I have to. This is a crazy business model, y'all. This is a crazy business model. Can you see this? Do you see this? It's a giant vending machine. But instead of getting one Pop-Tart, you could get all the Pop-Tarts. Instead of getting the little bag of cheeses, you get the whole box, right? You go ahead and go grocery shopping in here. They got coffee made up there. They got A1 sauce. Come on, they got everything in here. Man, what? Oh, man, there's too many ways to make money, y'all. This is hard.
This ancient rock appears to be a map, but not just any map, a map of Earth's magnetic fields. It's at Newgrange. It's a pretty big rock. It's above average megalithic speaking. It's a boyfriend rock. If you split the hemispheres of the Earth at the line on the rock, you get the magnetic vortex points of North America, South America, Russia, Pacific Ocean, and Antarctica. It's not just the similarities, though. It's the alignment of Newgrange itself. It is aligned to the winter solstice. The winter solstice is a magnetic event. During that time, the solar wind is the strongest. The Earth's geomagnetic response is the weakest. This is important. Newgrange is in Ireland, where the auroras are. Those are charged particles re-entering the Earth through the atmosphere. Ireland is also home to some of the craziest geological formations on the planet, including the composition of these rocks, which are magnetic. Earth's magnetic field can align grains in sedimentary rock. These are the studies from Newgrange proving it, but why? Well, believe it or not, this was very common in the ancient world. In Tiwanaku, Bolivia, Brian Forster showed that the H blocks are actually magnetic. In Egypt, at Elephantine Island, my friend Chelsea accidentally ran an experiment with her tensor rings. After putting the box on that altar, it mangled her copper tensor rings, but only the ones that were shaped like a magnetic field. Geometry might actually show us the answer here. Newgrange is part of a vast network of stone circles. Circles contain a vortex. It's the only geometry that can do that. Stones act as nodes that shape the magnetic field as it enters into the most optimal way that a magnetic field flows. To balance the flow through the crust, we couple where it's weak and then we get rid of it back to the atmosphere where it's too strong. But here are the opinions of what people think those carvings are. We start matching the stuff with our science. This perspective requires no belief, just an open eye and an open mind, and I got way more to show you.
Terminator is the prequels to the beginning of The Matrix. Sarah Connor is actually Neo's mother. So JC, John Connor's Jesus Christ, grows up to be Neo, one and the same in The Matrix. The Matrix is in the future. The Terminator is the past. It's time travel, past, present, and future time travel. It's the second coming of the Christ, the evolutions of consciousness, man versus the machine. So the machines, the Terminator machines, hear that a child is going to be born that's going to terminate them in the future when they oppress man. So see, it's a man versus the machine. It's God's children versus man's children, which was technology.
So man versus nature.
Exactly. So the Terminator has to time travel to the past because they know it's Sarah Connor, and they have to kill her, terminate her, so she won't have the baby. And Kyle Reese, he comes from the future to protect her, and he inadvertently gets her pregnant. and he has to go back to the future. And so it's the Immaculate Conception, because now she's pregnant and she fell in love with a man, but did it really happen? Did he exist? And then this child, when you see the three Terminators, the boy, and then the man child, subconsciously, he doesn't know why the Terminator is trying to kill him until he's hidden out in the city, in the Matrix, the future. When he reaches 30 years of age, the rebellion, reloaded, revolution starts. And the rebels come and they find him because they've been watching him all along. That's what the Guardians and the Sentinels are all about. And so they wake him up to his purpose. They take him to Morpheus to train him to fight the machines. They take him to the Oracle because of the prophecy. So this is the whole epic story. It's an epic.
Someone could please explain to me?
Incredible. When I learned that, it kind of blew my mind. So the connection between Terminator and the Matrix, did you guys know about that? I find it adds a layer of complexity and intensity to that story. Like she said, past, present, future, the second coming of Christ. I know, we always think these are movies and it's science fiction and this and that. Did you guys have any idea of the implications and the connection between these two movies? I find that amazing. Amazing. I don't know if I could get a hold of that book. I don't know if it exists because I think she just wrote this, like she wrote an idea and then they made a script out of it, but I don't know if the book truly exists. I'd like to get my hands on that. So let me know down below if you guys knew about the connection between the Matrix and the Terminator and what you think about the story that she was saying. And let's keep on rocking.
That would be great. Normally don't make hot coffees, normally make iced coffees, but the weather's getting colder. Was feeling a little frisky this morning. I had bought this specifically to make hot coffee. I had not opened it yet. Expiration date is March 2025. Like, we're rocking, right? I go to undo the top and take the thing off and pour it in. Do you see this?
There's a frog in here.
Open this. Look, drink water. It's crazy.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La la.
Guys, why is there letters on my Olive Garden breadstick?
So if LA couldn't get any creepier with all the problems with crime and homeless, I ran into this billboard on this lot. So this is a vacant lot for construction, and it says, "Live life deeper, 144 stories underground. You may never go outside again." It's so creepy. I'm wanting to know if this is real with this construction site right here. West Hollywood, Beverly Hills adjacent, a controlled access community, 24/7 security, residents only amenities, a new standard of sustainable living, but it's all underground. Live life deeper. The world's first and only completely subterranean residences. Terrifying. I feel like it's a horror movie. It's so creepy.
Fossilized.
Wow, that's interesting. First of all, do you think it's possible that they're like sort of trying to create chaos above ground and sort of subconsciously say, hey, you want to be safe? Go underground, type of thing? I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't know. The idea of living completely underground or having my house underground kind of makes me feel claustrophobic. I really don't have claustrophobia, but I don't know. I just feel like it's not natural for us to be living underground. And second of all, I don't know if you guys noticed that the placement of that guy's eyes was very, very interesting. I found that, I don't know if it's AI or something, but super interesting. First time that I see something like that. So let me know down below. Would you guys like to live underground in a complex like that? Do you think it makes sense? Or are you like me and you like your fresh air and the sun and it's not for you? Let me know down below and let's keep on rocking.
cowboy boot? That is the most insane thing I've read all day, but I am curious, what's the story here? Allegedly, this bad boy was found in a creek in Texas. So these guys, Carl and Don, were like, look, it's the fossilized leg of a cowboy. Well, that's a bit of a leap in logic. Why would they go and do a thing like that? Well, that's because Carl and Don are young Earth creationists. So since fossils run against the grain of what their ideology is, they need to find a way to undermine them. So they use this boot to say, look, fossils can form very quickly, and therefore all of geology is a lie. So many things wrong with this that it's actually incredible. Probably the most important, bone's not fossilized. When bone fossilizes, it turns to stone. This is just normal bone. It's not fossilized at all. They claim that this stone that it's in is 40 million years old, which it isn't. See, this is limestone. It breaks down in water, and then when the water evaporates, it leaves behind the stone again. So maybe the parent material is 40 million years old, but this sure isn't. And then why does nothing happen to the boot? Why did the boot not fossilize? It's just leather. You expect something unique to happen to the boot after 40 million years or some shit? We don't even know if this is human. I mean, that's a huge bone. And finally, if it is, why the fuck are y'all holding on to it? Even if there's a tiny chance this is actually from a person, don't you think it should be in like a forensics lab instead of being used to promote your weird, anti-science ideologies? So I don't know, maybe this is chill for them. If you think this is crazy, you should come check out my video debunking a young Earth creationist textbook. Come check it out, YouTube channel Mini Minute Man.
Here we go.
I put this in because I've seen that picture and that story a few times by people trying to negate the timeline, let's say. And they were saying that was basically petrified, but when something is petrified, like he said, it changes the composition into something that's more crystalline, the crystalline structure. And so he is right in a way that that's not really proof, because when you think about it, the leather didn't even have time to change. So pushes me to another question. How is it possible that this man's leg and skin got replaced by limestone? I guess that would be the part that I don't really understand. But I just put this in there because sometimes I see it used as proof positive that basically the timeline is off. And, you have to be honest on both sides. So I like to see one side and the other one. And that's why I presented it here. Now let's keep on rocking.
Oh, again, the Philippines was just hit with a massive typhoon. And you know what's interesting about all this? Again, this was another place that they proposed to build smart cities. These 15-minute cities of the future connected to digital IDs and electric cars. And you can't leave. This is all about the one world government, one world control. LA, 15-minute smart cities. Jamaica, 15-minute smart cities. Maui, 15-minute smart cities, all get hit with natural disasters. Now, why is it that every time these future utopias are announced in these places, they all get hit with these natural disasters? Don't you find this quite odd? Are you putting the pieces of the puzzle together like I am and seeing a direct correlation here? A common theme, if you will. Wiping out current foundation to build new foundation. First destruction and then reconstruction. What's going to rise from the ashes, guys? Surveillance grids, digital IDs, and centralized control, all under the disguised name of innovation. Now, the real ones can all see through the storm. We know what's really happening behind the closed doors. Our world is being purposely dismantled piece by piece by the psychopath globalists at the top. And the more people that wake up to this, the faster we're going to take these people down and actually build a beautiful new world for ourselves. So stay woke. Peace and love.
This video is from San Francisco.
A stamped brick with ARR, and we know that what used to be there said T, car. It's TCARR. Look at this.
Huh.
You can see that there are still fully intact bricks in what otherwise fully melted. Like that one right there.
Mm-hmm. What is that?
Much of it is melted beyond recognition, but
That's
a lot of it, like this, is still obviously a wall. Now, how old is this tree?
Right.
How long ago did this happen?
That's in San Francisco. I gotta go check it out.
Yes, definitely. You need
brick,
to get the
and
drone.
It's all melted down like as if it was candle wax hit with a blowtorch.
That is what that looks like, dude.
Flowing down channels.
Holy
Channels of
mackerel.
melted bricks. Like right there. Look at that. Still bricks sitting there, and that's the same kind of brick that this is, that's stamped.
This is the evidence.
It's very interesting. There's a word called meltology where people start looking into all these rocks and mountains, and they start identifying structures that they see as melted. And what's interesting about this one here is that I've heard things about melted brick before, and it's kind of a point of contention because if you want to heat brick sufficiently for it to melt, you're talking about almost 3,000 degrees. Fahrenheit and maybe 1,500 Celsius, which is very, very high heats, even for fire. So it's an anomalous situation when you find melted bricks. And anyways, to connect that, some people say that there was some plasma event or something basically that changed our plane of existence physically. So I don't know if that connects into that or if it comes from a fire, if it comes from another story. But again, it's just very interesting to see melted brick because the heat required to do that is very, very high. So yeah, that's why I put this in. And let's keep on rocking.
Because there is a case of partial preservation of what was there. Because if you didn't find the bricks, you didn't see the little details of bricks in there, somebody would just say, oh, well, wind and water did this over 1 million years, right? They would say, oh, it was 15 billion years caused rocks to look like this. No, it took about probably 10 seconds of like the hottest thing you could possibly imagine, just burning something, and it literally melted like a candle melts. That's what you see there. Like, what happened in our recent past? I think it's very fascinating. When I really got curious about the western part of the United States and like stuff like the Valley of Fire, in my mind, I was thinking of the days of Noah, maybe. I was thinking maybe like sometime around like the days of Jesus, like thousands of years ago. But when you find stamped bricks in there, so that means there was a brick factory that made bricks, right? So obviously I think even like the earliest brick factories were like in we're told, the mid 19th century. They had factories that made bricks en masse. So when did this thing melt like that?
Elon Musk said something so shocking at this event. The audience must be completely clueless for them to go along with this rather than start heckling and saying, what the Sam damn are you thinking? Listen to this interview or this clip. It's absolutely shocking, and we're going to unpack it.
I think we may be able to give people, if somebody's committed crime, a more humane form of containment of future crime, which is if you say like you now get a free Optimus, and it's just going to follow you around and stop you from doing crime. But other than that, you get to do anything. It's just going to stop you from committing crime. That's really it. You don't have to put people in like prisons and stuff. It's pretty wild to think of the various of all the possibilities, but I think it's clearly the future.
Now, Optimus is that goofy little robot standing next to him. His idea is that criminals will have a robot following them around to prevent them from doing future crime. For one, how is this goofy little thing supposed to stop you from doing crime? But for two, I don't even think he was being serious about this. I think this is predictive programming or conditioning. Get ready for robots to police you. And whether that's in the form of AI policing us, like through our phones, through the internet, AI controlling what we say, what we can't say, getting us in trouble for things we say or think or type or research, etc. Or really conditioning us for like robo-cops. Remember Minority Report? When you would get in trouble for pre-crime, before the crime was committed, you get like sentenced and the cops come after you and whatnot. Minority Report. Now, here's the thing with Elon Musk that no one really wraps their head around, seemingly. Many of you guys probably will, but the vast majority of people have no idea. The guy claims in multiple interviews that AI is the greatest threat to humanity. He then proceeds to make brain implantable microchips, self-driving cars, and his whole thing centered around artificial intelligence. It's like warning you about a forest fire while they're stoking the flames of a campfire next to the forest. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. What's interesting, though, is that he's portrayed as this freedom-fighting dude. Woo!
brain implantable microchips. What don't you understand about that? And the selling point is that it's going to make you superhuman, or it's going to help people who like can't use their arms, but if we put a brain microchip in there, they'll be able to move their arms again. It's going to be good for humanity. No, it will not make you superhuman. Merging with artificial intelligence will make you inhuman. You will no longer be fully human if you merge with AI, which is the plan, the mark of the beast. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and follow for more. I'll admit, within the first few seconds of this video, you're going to go, I'm not so sure about that, man. But tell me if you think all of this in totality could be a coincidence, because I'm thinking it's more of a stretch to think this is a stretch. It's clearly happening and it's in your face. Watch this.
The world might actually be run by demons. At almost every major city, there is symbolism for Lucifer. The United Nations headquarters is located at 666 United Nations Plaza, where there is tons of demonic symbolism such as this end times beast. In the Bible, it says 200 fallen angels descended at Mount Hermon, and the UN just happens to have a base there. The craziest part is that at a city called Astana, a city that's been purposely hidden from us, there's a massive pyramid, much like the one on the money that controls our entire world. And inside this pyramid, there's 200 perfectly aligned chairs. It's almost like the 200 angels that fell have a secret base where they make their plans. At this same city, there is another torch that represents Lucifer. This evil symbolism even stretches to CERN, a government research facility which has a statue of Shiva, the destroyer of worlds outside of it.
So the 666 Plaza thing is true. The Mount Hermon thing is true. The Lucifer being the light bearer is true. The 200 chairs, that's legit. So that's only the tip of the iceberg. There used to be a website that is now scrubbed from the internet. I cannot find it. If one of you guys is a real techie, find this out for me. There's a website that showed the distances between certain buildings, like the Pyramids of Giza to the Basel, Switzerland World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, is exactly like 6,666 kilometers apart. And the One World Trade Center is exactly 666 miles from the Statue of Liberty, whatever, not saying that exact, but it was a website compiling all these shocking distances that happen to line up with 666s, and they're like significant, buildings in the White House and all that. Now remember also the Washington Monument. Go and convert the height of the Washington Monument from feet to inches and check out that numerical value and tell me, whoopsie daisy coincidence. Something shocking is going on in our world today, guys and girls and everyone else. And we're a part of it. We got born into this power struggle that's happening where it's good versus evil. What side are you on? Probably you're on the same side as me. I mean, it's a big club and we're not in it, right? Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below and follow for more.
So what do you guys think about all that symbolism? You think it's possible that it's just a coincidence? Or do you guys think it's a trope? It's like an archetype that they're using to I don't know, steer us or create a certain pattern in our mind? Do you guys think there's a meaning, or do you guys think it's random? Let me know down below. And thank you very much for being here, because I think we've reached the end. And that's a wrap for today, familia. Whether you're tuning in with the sunrise or you're posted up after midnight, I appreciate your time, your energy, your curiosity. And don't forget, this isn't about truth or fiction. This is about perspective. If this sparked a thought, a laugh, a deeper question, then we did our jobs. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Keep the convo alive. Like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell if you're riding a wave, because we're just getting started. Until next time, stay grounded, stay weird, stay critical. I'm Adam Strain, and this has been Adam Strain Reacts. Peace! I don't know what y'all think, but now's the time for us to link up. Really think we on the brink of making a change from living this strange. Living this strange.